Hello everybody, this is John and welcome to John's Long Box. This is a deep dive today. This is Kitchen Sink Comics Megaton Man. Okay, this is the origin issue. As you can see, it's kind of a humor comic. It's like spoofing on a superhero comic. Pammy, I face my greatest challenge ever, and this is just the debut cover. So that's Megaton Man. That's Stella Starlight. She's his love interest. This is a silly, goofy comic by Don Simpson. And here is the opening page. These introduce the people. Preston Perch. That's like the Jimmy Olsen character. Pamela Jointly. That's that's not Stella Starlight. Pamela Jointly. That's the Lois Lane character. Stella Starlight is another character, which I'll talk to her later. Rudy Mayo, the editor, the President of the United States, Orson Welles, and the Professor, Jerry Lewis. Okay, this is 1984. Oh, jeez, I remember when this came out. So here's a splash page goofing on the cover. So this is like what it would look like if it came out during the golden age of comics. You see the fake 12 cents, issue 999. Guest starring the Megatopolis Quartet. The Megatopolis Quartet are goofs on the Fantastic Four. That's Stella Starlight. And I can't remember their real names or their superhero name. That's Yarn Man, the goof on the thing. Okay, that's Gable, Dennis Kitchen. He owns Kitchen Sink Comics. Ray Friedenbach. Okay, there you go. That's the credits. Names that I don't know all of them. And here's the real splash page. They call the Doctor software. So it's just opening as if it's like a Marvel Comics in the middle of a story. You know, this is the first appearance. I think he's called Water Balloon Man, Human Meltdown, Yarn Man, that's Megaton Man, who's appearing. And if that's the Visible Woman, or no, the See-Through Girl. So one thing I don't like is everybody else the fan, it's hot down here, is everybody always portrays like the Reed Richards as like a bad guy. I don't know why. I guess the fathers and husbands have to be portrayed as the bad guys these days. But this was 1984. But Reed, he's always, well, I don't know how he's portrayed in Marvel now, but back then he was cool. You wanted to be him. He was a adventurous scientist. He was like everything. So Yarn Man over here. It's knit one, purl two times, so he's beaten up Megaton Man, who is super strong but kind of goofy. So now he's fighting, the Human Meltdown. So he makes little, like the Kirby Crackle, human radioactive clouds. Mr. Water Balloon, the Liquid Man, alias Mr. Water Balloon. So he expands and inside jokes. They try to make it look like they used to call me Mudbelly when I sang the blues. So, Marvel used to do this kind of stuff. Inside jokes and everything. It's time for you, the See-Through Girl, to lend a hand. He goes, well, you turned yourself completely naked with a thought. Yes, and while you distract us, my partner's Cosmo Retro laser gun. So she distracts everybody by becoming naked. Huh? Cosmo Retro. Boom! And he gets blasted across the Hudson. Although, maybe it's not the Hudson because this is Megatropolis. So now he comes flying back and just creams them all. Superman versus Fantastic Four kind of thing. They end up getting married in later issues, so he kisses Stella Starlight and flies away. Gosh, that was the real Megaton Man. So apparently Megaton Man was missing and came back. They didn't believe him. Comic book tropes. The hero's got to fight. So here the Manhattan Project is their newspaper, and he's Trent Flug, reporter. And yes, that's his disguise. Remember, he's supposed to be dumb. And the running joke is everybody just goes along with it because they know he's Megaton Man and they don't want to hurt his feelings, or they think he'll go off or whatever. So here's another splash page. Sorry about the fan. Sorry about the late video. I've been working nights, so my sleep schedule's been messed up. And last night I went to bed, today being Sunday, and I slept for 16 hours. My wife just let me be. She knows how little I've been sleeping all week. So I was like, first when I woke up, she's like, you got to make a video. It's like, oh yeah. So here he is. He goes into the closet and boom, just explodes into Megaton Man, and everybody, the janitor's pissed, and everybody's just like, why do you go into a closet? We all know you're Megaton Man. So Megaton Man saves plummeting college. Yeah, Pamela Jointly, it's a goofing on Superman always saving Lois Lane. Every time she walks by a window, she trips and falls out the window. So there's the opening window, very precariously nearby her. Pamela Jointly's like looking. I love this art. I'd like to see if Don Simpson ever did like a serious comic, because he can draw, but he's doing the oversized muscles and caricatures of everything. So she's just a hostage of Dr. Software, and they're fighting. Rips the van off, hippy dippy. Missiles coming. It's standard goofy and then Dr. Software makes the Behold the Contrapt droid. So it's like the robot, the mecha version of Megaton Man, which is just another trope in itself. The human meltdown is exploding. Help me. And then one of the things I don't like is he portrays him as like this emotionally manipulative control, and he won't let Stella have a life of her own. So he's kind of like, he becomes a villain later on. But, I mean, the Venture Brothers, the Mr. Fantastic character, becomes a villain. I just don't like the way they portray. And of course, is the president. He gets the professor. I think they're building nuclear wonder, whatever. The origin of Megaton Man. So now they're talking about how he came to be. He was, it's all the origins put together. He came from another planet, and then he was belted by cosmic rays. He was raised by a lost intelligent tribe of kangaroos. Then he was bitten by a radioactive frog, suddenly caught in the space-time continuum blast, and then he drank from a radioactive secret premium super soldier syrup, and then untested energy soared through his veins. So it's just every origin was pumped into him, because it's goofing off on him. He's fighting a Contrapt droid. I'm going fast because the story really doesn't matter. What matters is like the gags and jokes. Although, in its like 20-year history, there is a continuity and there is a story. So now they're goofing on Doonesbury comic strips. Lot of goofing on comic books, comic strips, movies. Superman Lois Lane romance, and then he drops her because she's always falling from buildings. She gets saved by Water Balloon Man. Yawn Man's coming out. Big old fight on the roof. Explosions. My friend, he must be dead. Dr. Softman was to want. I took him for granted, kind of thing. Maybe I was a little rash, and he just crushes his head. It's like, you can't destroy me. I'm the man of molecules. So that's his tagline. And there's the professor. The president thanks him, and then he goes to hug Pamela, who goes to hug the other guy. So that's like a twist on the trope. And then she quits the Megatropolis Quartet, and her and Pamela go off like Thelma and Louise style. And he's all meeting the press. And he puts a sawdust dummy at his desk, so nobody will think that Trent Flug left. So nobody can say, like, I never see you at the same time. He's right, Megaton Man is right over here. And here's Trent Flug slumped over his desk, as usual. They're on patrol. So, that's just a goofy intro. It works. I went through it really fast, but it's actually a pretty dense comic. Here's some Harvey Kurtzman, L. Welder, some classic underground comic artist. Kitchen Sink, really great if you want to get like reprints of independent comics. And they started publishing. This is the Spirit. This is Don Simpson doing Will Eisner's Spirit. Because this is Milton Caniff's Steve Canyon, Megaton Man, and Will Eisner's The Spirit. Kitchen Sink would reprint a lot of these old comics. And for most of us, myself included, this was the first time I was introduced to a lot of these characters. So this comic, was an independent company. This company was an independent company, but it really adheres like original. So that at this point they were branching off into original characters, and I thought they were a really solid company. They did the Spirit, Megaton Man. I can't even remember the other titles, but they were doing pretty good. This lasted 10 issues, and then Don Simpson started Fiasco Comics, which was his own comic company, and I don't think that lasted too long. And then it was just like a series of mini-series and one-shots. I'm sure I'm missing some. Now that you got me talking about Megaton Man, I'm going to look for other issues. But this was a lot of fun. I don't think it's too expensive. Kitchen Sink does do collections, so if you want to get the first 10 issues, it's got to be in a collection someplace. But if not, I don't think it's too. You could go to like mycomicshop.com and get the back issues for a couple bucks each. So that's Megaton Man. This is a lot of fun. Thumbs up. All right, bye bye.